never been on a boat moving this long. It was really cool seeing the sails in the moonlight.
Doing pretty great. I think about 56 nautical miles left to go.
Woo! You're coming too.
Come with us as we navigate our home-built boat around her new playground, the Sea of Cortez. After 8 years and counting of building, we're reborn sailors.
One day we'll be floating in the tropics.
And I won't be wearing these boots anymore.
We're Salt and Tar, and this is our life. We're happy to share, and thanks for watching. Today, we're leaving Baja.
Perfect.
Off into the sunset today.
We've decided to cross the sea and check out San Carlos, our closest hurricane hole. For the next 4 to 5 months, we want to be within a day sail away from one of these spots. Less than 80 miles from our current location, we'll sail overnight to arrive during daylight. The crew is ready for the change of pace and excited to make landfall on mainland Mexico for the first time. We leave Bahia Concepcion and the Baja Peninsula in our wake. This will be Kinsey's longest time at sea and first experience sailing out of sight of land. It's just after 6 o'clock, and if we maintain 5 knots, we're looking at 15 hours. If it's an average of 3 knots, it'll be more like 25. 76 nautical miles and a straight line northeast across the sea. We're a sailboat, and we want to sail.
So we're heading to San Carlos now, which is pretty much straight ahead, slightly to starboard. We have enough wind, and we actually have beautiful wind, perfect sailing wind. We'd have to bear off our course just a little bit, but it's supposed to ease more to the south as the day goes on, which would be sweet. It'd be a nice beam reach. But our batteries have been getting really, really low lately. We're hoping, I don't know if the battery bank is starting to go or if it's just because it's been so hot in Conception Bay that when the panels get really, really hot, they're not as efficient. So anyway, we're low on power, so we kind of need, whether we like it or not, we kind of need to motor for probably a couple hours to top our batteries up for the night watch. So we're just gonna bash directly into the wind under power for an hour or so, and then hopefully if the weather holds off, that wind should ease to the south a little bit. We should have a nice beam reach, and then we'll be able to sail through the night. So that's why we're motoring in this nice wind right now. But I'm gonna throw up the main, just a reefed main, just as a riding sail and to give us a little bit of push. Okay, the sail's gonna come up. You should be fine where you are, but just be aware. And lost that. One of them.
Oh, look at that.
Garrett's double reefing the main because it's the flattest and most efficient as a riding sail in this position. This is just to help control the rolling of the boat while under power to make it more comfortable broadside to the swell.
The wasps, they're not aggressive, so that's nice. We just let them do the thing and figured we'd evict them when we went back out to sea.
We motor for a little over an hour, topping off our batteries, and as the sun begins to set, we prepare to go full sail into the night.
Slowing the engine down, are we?
Yeah.
Switching from power to sail, Charles, our wind vane, goes to work, and the electric autopilot turned off.
I'm gonna raise and stay.
Raise and staysail.
Line that holds the sail up. See how it's kind of just stuck there? Yeah, perfect.
You can just dump them in the bucket. Just us and the wind. Not a bad start to our Sea of Cortez crossing.
Yeah, first overnighter since the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the short trips have been super nice, but yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this. Just to be able to get the boat dialed in and just kick back, let her make miles, and do what she's meant to do.
I feel like it's been months since we've done anything more than like maybe 25 nautical miles.
Yeah, doing three and a half knots, super light wind, but that's okay. We got only 70 miles to go. We left just before 6, so we got plenty of time We wanted to leave ourselves plenty of time so that we could just sail, even if we were sailing really slow if the wind was light. But if we get good wind and we make really good speed, we'll just heave to a little bit offshore, wait for the sunrise, and then head in. The weather report looks like we might get some really nice wind overnight and into the early morning.
Yeah, looks like an excellent forecast. And we've got mostly a full moon.
Yeah.
Should be a good first night passage for Kinsey.
Yeah.
Dad went over there. And we're all pretty excited for AC, showers, and burgers. That was the top 3 out of the 3 of us. Things that we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Burgers, air conditioning, shower.
She's gonna do the limb man.
Oh yeah, burger.
Oh, it's burger time.
Burger. It's burger time.
As night descended, we talked watch schedule and potential hazards to look out for. Kinsey would take the first watch with Garrett, and then he and I would alternate every 2 hours. If either one of us can go longer, we will, but this 2-hour minimum has worked the best for us, and naturally we fall into this rhythm. We tend to graze eat on shorter passages like this.
Stove is typically like a safe place to leave stuff when we're underway.
We flick on the nav lights and settle into the evening.
Red light's a problem, boss. Oh, is it?
It ripped it completely. We were going downwind, and the topping, this lazy jack was loose and it caught it.
We haven't traveled at night in some time and forgot after the incident to check the lamp.
Ready? Aha!
Hopefully that repair will last a bit. I'll fix it properly when we get there.
Ship shape now, we begin night watches at 10. I tuck myself in and get some rest, while Garrett and Kinsey guide us along, attending the sails and watching for any traffic.
We got this guy coming up on us just over a mile away. They're going 4.6, so they're going like a knot faster than us, but it looks like they'll probably cross over our bow. Amnesty, amnesty, amnesty. Rediviva. We're gonna keep an eye on them. They're not answering the radio.
They also picked up a hitchhiker seeking safe passage to the mainland as well.
Decent amount of wind right now. I just got on watch. I'm clipped in so that Garrett hopefully will get some sleep. But he and Kinsey had a good watch. We had one boat and they passed ahead of us. They had to slow the boat down a bit. Tried hailing them on the radio and nothing received. So Garrett said he slowed the boat down to about 2 knots and then they passed in front. And other than that, it was pretty uneventful until a couple minutes before my watch. This wind picked up, which has been pretty epic. We are going just over 5 knots, and this is also pretty consistent with our weather forecast. So we might have this with us the entire way there, which would just be fantastic. So far everything's going really good. It's a little bit after midnight and we are still full sail, and yeah, the moon is super bright. I hardly need the headlamp at all to see most things. The boat is super quiet down below, keeping a close eye on everything. So we're doing 2-hour watches, and Garrett's crashed here on the port quarter and Kinsey's up in our bunk, and all is well. Woo, little spray. I don't know if you can tell, I'm basically in a bikini, and it is still super nice and warm. Warm night sails. I could get used to this. Woo! That was perfectly timed. We are just over 30 nautical miles left to go. It is just before 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I think that puts us in around like 2 p.m. And Red Aviva is sailing herself at like 4.5 knots. Our hitchhiker is still with us. The evening was fairly uneventful. Garrett didn't get any sleep, so I'm taking over this morning. I've been on since about like 5 o'clock, a little after 5 a.m. And he's now sleeping up forward, hopefully sleeping. Kinsey is just chilling with me on deck and just ate a little grub. She wasn't feeling too hot a few seconds ago. The wind left us pretty light around like 2 a.m. so the boat was flopping a lot. So I don't think really anybody got all that much rest since the swell is kind of broadside to us. But it wasn't too bad, it came back. So there was only, I don't know, maybe an hour that we saw a little bit of a dip below 2 knots, but we sailed throughout the whole night.
Nothing but ocean.
A near 24 hours at sea, only motoring an hour on either end of the journey. Our winds were mostly light, but we did top 6 knots of speed around midnight. We could make out the distinct peaks of San Carlos as we sailed our average of 3.5 knots, We could smell land life, and we're getting excited to step foot on the mainland for the first time. Proud of our crossing.
I really liked it. It felt super relaxing. It was like the movement of the ocean was just lulling me to sleep most of the time. Felt a little longer than I expected, I guess. Just because I've never been on a boat moving this long. Almost felt a little seasick sometimes when I went down below. But then I just came out and looked at the horizon and felt better after a bit. It was really cool seeing the sails in the moonlight. Really pretty. And it was my first time not seeing any land around. That was really cool. What else?
Would you do it again?
Yes, I would. I feel like I slept a lot of the time, and then when I was awake, I was sleepy. And I don't know if it was just because the movement is so relaxing to me. And like hearing the water, it's really peaceful.
Final 6 miles. 5.5 now.
We can do this. Thank you.
We were able to get a mooring for $3 US a night until we figured out exactly how long we'd be staying and if the marina had any space for us to get a few projects done.
Okay, directly in front?
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna try to bring the mooring ball right to the port side. Got it.
Cool, we're good?
We got the lowdown from the locals, but more on that and our ideas for San Carlos, as well as Hurricane Hillary, next week.